Because black Americans voted Kamala and I are President and Vice President of the United States because of you. That's not hyperbole. Because you voted, Donald Trump has defeated former president. And with your vote in 2024, we're going to make Donald Trump a loser again.
President Biden in Philadelphia this week fighting to regain support from black voters. As you can see on your screen, black voters have typically turned out in force for Democratic presidential candidates in recent history, with Republican candidates often getting only single-digit percentage support amongst that group. According to the polling, at this point in the 2020 election, about 92% of voters said that they would vote for Biden over Trump. In 2024, that number dropped to 69%. There appears to be a shift as President Biden works to woo black voters. A. Scott Bolden, an attorney and racial justice activist, is with us now. Good morning, A. Scott. It's always nice to see you.
Good morning.
The economy for most voters, right, nationwide, at poll after poll, is the number one issue. Is the same true when it comes to black voters? Is that the priority going into a presidential election?
Well, it's got to be the same priority because how America goes, those of us who are the least, the lost, the left out, people of color tend to experience it in an even tougher proposition. But I don't believe that that's what's Biden's issue with African-American voters, black and brown voters. I don't think they've left him. I don't think they're happy with him right now. And so the polling is a snapshot. The number one priority in any campaign, local or federal or national, is shoring up your base. These numbers at 70%, down from 90%, means he's got to shore up his base. He's got to talk to African Americans about the economy, sure, health disparities, gun violence, and things that are affecting them, and civil rights, for example, that affect them directly on a day-to-day basis. If he's not talking to them about that and shoring up his base, then it's going to be a long election. He can't win without the black vote, especially in swing states.
You say that many black voters are unhappy with him right now. Why do you think that is?
I think there is an element of young voters who are not happy about the Israeli-Hamas conflict and Biden's position on it, even though his position is very consistent with what some of the pro-Palestinian protests are for. He can't control Bibi Netanyahu, and so he's got to continue to pound that message. Young voters don't know the history of American support and for Israel, or of Israel's support for African-American issues in the 60s. Remember, it was the rabbis that marched with Martin Luther King first. And so we've lost some of that. And then I do think with the black male vote, they've been neglected by the Democratic Party, and the black male vote, they need some attention. The economy, entrepreneurship, job training, things that are going to allow them to empower themselves and their communities and their families. And just not enough focus by either party on this. In the end, though, given that duality of choices, I think the black vote is going to come in high 80s, low 90s for Joe Biden when given that choice in November. He's got some work to do, though.
Yeah, you think he has enough runway, though, between now and early November to get it done?
I think so. And it also, ironically, depends on whether the Israeli-Hamas war ends or if there's a ceasefire or resolution of that issue. And remember, there's some promises that were kept, but there's some promises that weren't kept. That is the Voting Rights Act, as well as the George Floyd Police Reform Act. Neither one of those got passed, and I think even Biden has said he should have put more time, money, and energy into that effort. But we'll see. We're not holding. There are no permanent friends or enemies. They're permanent interests. And if he speaks to African-American interests, like I said earlier, he can get them back focused. They may not be happy, right? But they haven't left the family yet.
And let's talk about the ones who have left. If they are not going to vote for Biden now, and they're not going to change their mind between now and November, who gets their vote, do you think? Is it Trump? Is it someone else?
I don't think it's Donald Trump. I mean, the selling of Donald Trump, he got 8% in 2020. I don't think he's a viable alternative or viable choice. He may get some. The Hispanic male voters tend to vote for him at a higher number.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.